Okay guys, so how much going today? So it's another cold freaking day again. Look at this cold baloney crap. Sunny out, but windy and cold. Of course it's a north wind, so go figure. Super cold out. It's just like we can never get, decently warm weather. It's always cold and crappy. So, but anyways, I think what we'll try to do is we'll try to get the old farm bus up and running for 2015. I got to do some maintenance to it, not maintenance to it, but I got to check everything, and stuffs, and not sure if I'll have to file down those dewey's on the chain or not. I did sharpen it last year, but not sure if I did a good job or not, but we'll find out when the time comes to cut it. And it looks like I'm getting low on this stuff too. Got about half a bottle left of this. I got wintertime oil too, but I won't be using that in the summertime. And then I got plenty of fuel, but this is about half a can right here. And flat file, and I got some round files. But we did the round filing last year, but I think I'll probably touch it up again. And I'm going to use the GoPro for this part of the video, like when I do maintenance to this or whatever, to speed it up. And this thing here doesn't last too long in the cold, so we're not going to use it as much. The GoPro seems to hold up pretty good in the cold, so that's what we'll do. We'll switch over to that GoPro there, and then use that for the rest of the videotaping this, and then once we'll probably have to we're going to cold start this thing too. And my brake was left on. And then we'll cold start it. I didn't bring the big tripod out, but whatever. We're going to do this first anyway. And then see if I can even start it. I don't know. It hasn't ran all winter. So, but we're going to, we need to check the air filter. I'm thinking it's probably almost due for a new one already, but I'm not buying a new one anytime soon. I'll just try to clean that off a little bit. And then, like I said, I think we'll work on the chain first. So we'll have to, I'm going to go over it again with the round file. And then I'm going to go over it with this. I hope this is the right dewey for this chain. So, just got to figure out which, I believe it was these. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if these deweys are wore out yet, or if they're even due for sharpening. I got to figure out which way these go on. I don't think it really matters, but I said that this is supposed to be a whatever size chain this is supposed to be. Can't remember what it is. It's probably written on the bar. Bar's upside down. I can't read it. This is supposed to be the right one for this bar. But to me, it doesn't seem like it would be right. But whatever. We're just going to, somewhat check it and just file, I guess, anything down that needs to be filed. And then we'll go over it with the round file. And then, yeah, gas her up, put some more bar and chain oil in there. There should still be some left in there yet. And then we should be good. I am going to have to adjust the tension on this though. It's not right. It should be a little bit tighter than that, but probably not by much more. Because you don't want them to, you don't want them to walk off the bar, right? So, yeah, so we'll switch over to the GoPro now. And that'll be all sped up. And then, so I can just, it'll take me probably a good half an hour, but to you guys it'll probably be like 2 minutes, or if even that, depending on how fast I'll speed her up. So, and then, yeah. Alrighty guys, let's get going here. Okay, guys, so I think the saw's about ready for a startup. I'm not too crazy. A couple things wrong here. One is I cannot figure out why I cannot turn my my oiler pump back down. None of my screwdrivers seem to fit. This one here seems to fit, but it's not turning anything. Because you guys remember I had turned it up because I thought I was having an issue. Well, I can't turn it down for some stupid damn reason. And I think this might be overkill on my tension. I mean, it seems fine, but you want them somewhat tight. I mean, it moves fairly easy. I don't know, I still might have to fine-tune this yet. But I'm not going to be cutting anything with it anyway, so I'm not too worried about it right now. I will probably have to fine-tune this. You can see it moves. It's a little bit stiff, but it's not supposed to be like that. But when I loosen it, then it's too loose. So I don't know. Might be actually a little bit too tight. I might have to try to maybe loosen that a little bit more. I'm not crazy for it being tight like that. Let me see if I can maybe loosen that a little bit more yet. Okay, so I kind of loosened it up somewhat. It probably doesn't look like it loosened it much. But you kind of have to remember too that when these chains get hot, they're going to stretch as well. So you don't want to go super loose. I mean, I think that's about what you need. It's supposed to spring back into the bar like that. I don't know exactly. It's been a while since I've messed with my saw, but I don't know. It's a little bit looser now since it's kind of gone around the bar a little bit, but well, we'll try to maybe start her if we can. I don't know how good my shoulder is doing today, but not sure how long this camera will last. We're just going to start it, see if we can get some fresh feel going through it. And I don't have my big tripod, so we'll just do this. And that should do it. It's just going to have to do it. I'll try to see if I can get her started. I don't know. It's been a while, so that's all we're going to do anyway, is just start it and let it run for a while. Okay, so I went and did some catting, just a little bit of catting, just around my property here. And I guess as you can tell, I'm kind of shitty. Some good news and maybe some bad news, I don't know. But the good news is, I think I sharpened my chain right, because I kind of am throwing out fairly big chunks. There's some small ones too, so it kind of depends, I guess, on the tree you're cutting. But I mean, you see a lot of powdery crap on me too. Well, no matter what you cut, you're going to get powder anyway. But I'm getting some fairly big chunks. It's not, you know. Another thing too, guys. I'm never going to be a professional, sawer. I mean, look at the size of these chunks. So that's obviously got to be a good thing that I'm sharpening them somewhat correctly. The bad thing is, don't know if it's the way I was holding my saw, or if my saw is cutting crooked. Because I'll show you here in a minute, but now I don't know. Maybe it's the way I'm holding the saw. I'm actually, when I was cutting this one branch right there that I cut last year. I need something to test it on, So it kind of started digging uphill. Like I started cutting uphill, so I don't know. Don't know if it's maybe the way I'm holding the saw. Then, because see, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just letting the saw do all the work. So the saw is probably just going to, wander itself all over the place. So, but yeah, it's going uphill. It kind of did that last year too a little bit. So I can't say that it's. I mean, yeah, it could be my fault. Maybe I cut it wrong, or I sharpened my chain wrong. But you would think that if I did that incorrectly, I'd be throwing a lot of powder out, not big chunks like that. I'm not throwing out like professional chunks, but not like. I'm still learning, So. You learn from your mistakes, and I think I learned a little bit of something today. So you just got to keep messing around with them, and and figure out what works the best. Now I don't know, maybe since my saw has started running hotter now, because the chain's been stretched now a little bit, right? My chain always rotated on the bar at idle. It usually wasn't that bad, but this time it was actually, it actually had some speed on it. So, some say to just lower the idle. That would solve the problem, probably. Or maybe, it's most likely got to do with the idle, but I'm not sure if I really want to mess with it. I mean, I guess I messed with it on my tractor, but that was a little bit different. So, I haven't really figured out how to. I mean, it shows they're on the side idle, but I want to make sure that I understand it correctly, so I don't, I don't want to mess that up. So, I mean, you can't mess your idle up, but you can mess up your, I think that's your air and fuel mixture. I think right there above that. So that I don't want to touch. That I'm going to let the pros touch, but it doesn't have a problem, running. It runs fine. I mean, damn thing's only what? Well, it's a 2013 model? So it's not an old saw, it's only about 2-3 years old. So it's not an old thing, but I don't know, it'll probably never be the same like it was once, like when I bought it brand new. I mean, when I bought it brand new, it plowed through everything like a son of a bitch. It was incredible. Now, it's cutting. Definitely not better than it was last year. I mean, last year I was throwing out nothing but powder. So, I mean, I knew she was a bit dickered. So, why it's cutting on an angle, I don't know. It could be my fault. Well, it's probably my fault either way you look at it. I'm holding the saw wrong and it's wanting to cut uphill, or the chain's not sharpened correctly. I mean, I'm pretty sure I sharpened them the way you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to. I may have to go back and watch a video again on this, but I think the way I was told to do it, which I think is the way you have to do it, is, let's see if I can show you a tooth. Like this tooth right here. Okay, well this is the cutting side of it right here. It's hard for me to show you. I mean, you chainsaw guys know. So right there is your cutter, right? Right where the screwdriver touches. Well, to sharpen that, wouldn't you go this way with it? And then drag it back, and then that way again. It wouldn't make much sense to go this way. I don't think. See, I think it's supposed to go like this. If you guys can see that, okay. Because I think if you were to cut it this way, you'd be digging too much of the side out, and they don't really want you to touch the side of your cutter, just the top. So now I think some of these may need to be. Some of these have kind of like a little, not a bubble on them, but they're not straight like they should be. So maybe those teeth have to be re-sharpened again. Now this is the second time I've done this by myself. See, now like this tooth here, this cutter, wouldn't you want to sharpen it this way and then drag it back? I mean, wouldn't that make more sense compared to coming this way with it? You know, I mean that's the way I thought it was supposed to go. You know, like that. So, and no, this is not a file. I was using a screwdriver as an example. Like, you would want to go that way with it. And that's what I did. Now, I did not equally sharpen those like I should have. I need to get some better, well, not better stuff. I need to get a permanent marker, a white one or something, and mark a tooth. Because I was just half-assing this. This is not the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it like a, professional. But for the amount of cutting I do, it doesn't really matter. Well, I mean, it would, but I have one tree that I gotta get cut up for sure this year, and that'll probably be the end of it, honestly, because I don't really get to it like I used to. I mean, when I first bought this saw, I went all summer long cutting. I mean, the saw was brand new. It was freshly sharpened, and and what kind of disappointed me was that I had taken the chain to the pros and I had them sharpen it for the first time, and I think they did a pretty bad job at it, because when they sharpened it and I started cutting, like, I don't know if a couple days later, it really wasn't doing that good. It wasn't making big chunks like it is now, but it's making some chunks, but it was more powder than anything else. So I don't know. You think that you could trust your pros, that do that stuff for not a tree removal company, but I mean like pros to maintain your saws, because you can take your saw to your dealer and they will sharpen it for you, or you can find a repair shop or something that'll do it. I know the repair shop on the North Dakota side. We used to go to them all the time to get our cars and stuff fixed, and they did it. They sharpen chains. They even take the links out, and stuff. Because my uncle has a Stihl saw. It's an older one, and he had to have a couple links taken out because his chain was getting too stretched. So, and they did it, and they did it for him. Now of course, they're not here anymore, which sucks because they're like the best repair shop in the world around here, So I have to go. Now, there's probably another company around here somewhere that will probably do it closer around, but I went all the way to the cities because I didn't want to take it to someone around here that didn't know what the hell they were doing. But apparently the cities don't know what the hell they're doing either, I guess. So maybe what I'll do is I'll take, maybe once it gets dull again, which probably won't take frickin' long, knowing the way that I sharpened it, maybe I'll find a different guy that'll do it. I'll let her have a pro do it because I don't really trust my own work, Some work I'll trust, but, it takes time to learn how to sharpen frickin' chains correctly, and I want it done correctly. So, maybe if I can learn a few things off of them, like how they sharpened them, like probably wouldn't be able to watch them. Well, I probably could watch them, but I ain't gonna, you know, I'm not gonna wait 3 hours. So I think what I could do is I could probably look at it the way it is now. Let's say if it was dull. Remember how that went, and then once they sharpened it, I'll test it. Like I'll just cut a tree real quick. And if it's cutting the way I think it should be, which should be a lot better than that, I'll look at it again, and maybe that'll tell me something. Maybe there's, you know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and freaking sawdust crap. And I don't know. This has to be the right Dewey for this, for my chain. This is supposed to be 3/8, I think. 0.65, and this is a 0.065. It doesn't say this. Oh, it does say 3/8 on it. Okay. Yeah, so it's supposed to be a 3/8 chain, apparently, from what the bar said. And this is all safety chain, you know, green labeled, and the same with the bar. So this has to be correctly. But I went through all those, I forget what they call them, drags or something. It controls how deep your chain will cut. I went through those, and they really didn't need to be touched up. I think they were fine. So I think they might have needed maybe just a tiny bit adjustment, but really they don't need a lot. You don't need to adjust them crazy, you know, just a teeny little bit, and your freaking chain will cut like crazy. That's what mine did when mine was brand new. It cut through everything. I mean, it lasted the whole summer. The whole summer. And then I went and had it sharpened by the pros, and then it lasted me about 2 weeks. So it was very disappointing. So I don't know. Either they did a pretty bad job at sharpening it, or I don't know. I might even try to see if I can get replacement chains too. I might want some spares. I don't know if they. I know I have some links saved on my computer where I can buy chain, but they're not green labeled like these are. They're just your standard chew the hell out of the trees kind of chain. You know, these are more forgiving. They don't, less chance of kickback and pinch and crap like that. They're safety chains. So, and some people say they don't cut all the best. Some are like, oh, this takes forever, and I've had no problems with mine. Mine cuts pretty damn good. It did when it was brand new. It went through a tree. Within probably like a second. And that wasn't even at full throttle. That was only at half throttle at the time, because it was brand new and I didn't want to, you know, blow it up. So I only went about half throttle, and it still went right through a tree. Now I'm screaming it. I got it wide open, so because it's broken. So of course I do rear hearing protection because I can't stand it wide open. I can do it at half throttle, it's fine, but when you get her screaming, it hurts the ears. So I got hearing protection and stuff for it. I need to get a face shield. I got safety glasses, but what good that'll do you, I don't know. And I do have to get those chaps, whatever, leg protection stuff, but just haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, so I think this is your idle. Or maybe, no, that would be something else. I don't know, I gotta look in the book again, but I think that's your idle. And I'll have to look through the book again and then see if I can adjust that. So it's not a very good thing that your chains are spinning at idle. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but I guess it probably could wear it out a little quicker. What I normally do is if I'm moving from job site to job site, or whatever you want to call it, and my chain is spinning, I'll just ram it into a tree, and that'll stop it. And then I'll just put the brake on. But they say it'll wear out your brake too. I'm sure it would. But there's not that much power behind it. I mean, once you get it, you know, pinched into like a tree branch or something, it will stop. But this time it's got a little more speed on it, so I don't know. Might be because the chain got loose a little bit. Now it can really spin. But the idle probably does need to be adjusted a little bit. So maybe I'll look more into it this summer and play around with it. But yeah, I guess we'll take a look at this this nasty cut that I made. It's not the best. See how it's kind of crooked? It's not straight. Well, that's probably either me or the chain's not sharpened correctly. It's either one. I'll cut that little piece off. So it's either one. Either I didn't hold my saw correctly, or my chain is still dickered in such a way that it's cutting funny, but whatever. We'll take care of it. This is dusty. Woo. We'll just let her go for right now. It's fine the way it is for right now. I won't be cutting anytime soon, so I'm not going to worry about it. But my saw is ready to go if it had to cut some wood. Like I said, I do have that one tree I want to cut up and get rid of it. So, and then yeah, there's also a tree right here I want to get rid of too in my yard, but the car's in the way. I think the car would probably end up. I think the car would get in the stupid way. I could move the car, but no battery, and the engine's kind of shot. I don't like trees that lean a super lot. I'm not a big fan of them. See, it's this little tick turd. I guess the car wouldn't be in the way. See how this one's got such a leaner to it? Such a lean. Well, it'd be this one here I would have to take out. I guess it would. Well, it's a risk though of cutting it with the car being there. So, because I'm not. I don't think it would hurt the power line. I wouldn't even come close to the lines. So, I mean, it's not damaged or anything. It's just growing funny. Of course, all my trees are dead and they're dying anyway. This piece of crap needs to come down. It's been trimmed, but it needs to come down a lot more than that. It needs to come all the way down to the ground. So, anyways, guys, I guess that's pretty much about it. I'll put my stuff away, and then I guess we'll put the saw away. There's the cover for the Dewey. And then the farm boss is up and running. And then I got plenty of fuel. And then might have to get another bottle of bar and chain oil probably next year. I don't think there'll be enough there, but yeah. So after that, depending how long it'll take me to edit this video, I'll try to get her going pretty quick here. And then see, after that, I might want to maybe get this tiller going. I haven't even started that yet. Then I might pull the John Deere in the shop and figure out what's wrong with my brake pedal. It's got that squeaky thing going on. I think it needs to be sprayed with some WD-40 or something stupid. And then we'll do our maintenance to the John Deere. Whenever my uncle decides to come down, he usually likes to help me with the mower blades. And then we'll sharpen the blades. Get that put back on the tractor. Get the deck all greased up and ready to go. Because now's the time to do it since it's off. It'll be real easy. Then the John Deere should be ready to go. I am going to have to get I'm going to maybe try to get maybe an air filter for it. I got to get a fuel filter for it too, but one thing at a time. So, yeah. See, that's back to being nice and tight again while it's cooled down. Plus the brake is on too, so. Yeah, and guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.
Thank you.